Welcome, 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 family. Hey, family, welcome to the Hub. So today we're talking about how do you ask for what you want when you're dating, when you're in a relationship. More than likely, there's going to be something that comes up that rubs you the wrong way. But how do we say, all right, I didn't feel good about that, and not be scared that you're going to run this person for the hills? How many of you really and truly have ever been in a situation where you were just scared and you didn't know if you think about the last time you were in a relationship and you say, oh goodness, the last time I brought that up, that person stopped talking to me, so maybe I won't bring it up anymore, even though it bothers you. So I want to very, very simply take you through a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step process that I have created called my facts formula. Go ahead and drop facts, right? Facts. Okay. So we're going to talk about the facts, only the facts, right? So I'm from New York, so we say that a lot. Facts, right? Repeat after me. Facts. Okay. So we are talking about facts. And often what ends up happening in our dating journey, is that we end up in the emotion side of things and don't really look at the facts. And we could get caught up in many different emotions, which end up ruining our relationship versus looking at the facts. Yes, emotions are important, but there has to be a delicate balance. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you have a pen and paper, I want you to write this down, or if you're on Twitter or Instagram, tweet it out, story it out, whatever it out, right? At Inspire Many, tag me. Okay. So the first part of facts, and this is an acronym. So the F stands for figure out what you want and why. Figure out what you want and why. So it's not just about what you want, but the why is a big piece of it. Because sometimes, for instance, I want this man, let's say, to stop calling me sweetie. We just started dating. But why? Why? Well, the why is it makes me feel uncomfortable, or it alludes to us being further than we are, or my ex used to call me sweetie and it's a trigger. Yes. So we need to dig a little bit deeper in and of ourselves in this dating quote unquote game, because we need to understand what our triggers are. And, we talk a lot about this in our Real Love Network, but I really want you to start to think about, okay, why is this bothering me? Why am I upset by this? Why is this an issue? You feel me? Because I'm literally thinking about something that happened recently. I was in Jamaica with family, with my husband, with everyone, and there was just some crazy stuff going on. I don't know if you've ever driven in the countryside of Jamaica, but it could be a little bit stressful, right? It could be a little bit stressful. So what ends up happening some of the time, you'll see some cars kind of heading directly towards your face, right? So you're driving on one side of the road and it's like playing chicken. You feel like you're on the Fast and the Furious. So it could be a little bit stressful. So one of the things that my husband said quite often during this trip was, you owe me. And for me, that was a trigger. It's like, what you mean I owe you, right? Like, don't we just do for each other? So I really, really got upset. And I had to figure out the why. Why am I so upset? And more than likely, what happened is that I was comparing this situation for other situations where somebody said, you owe me. So was I really mad at him, or was I just triggered by memories of my past? So I had to sit with that. I really had to sit with that and say, you know what? I'm equating what he's saying to rejection. So then I feel rejected. So that's really the issue. The rejection is the issue. And is it that he's really rejecting me? Or is it that I'm just triggered by something that reminds me of rejection? Ooh, wait, girlfriend. I know. It's extra deep. It is extra deep. So what I want you to do is when you get upset in a relationship, when you're dating, even when you're frustrated in the dating process, because I know that happens, right? If you've ever been frustrated in the dating process, whether you're listening or watching live or the replay drop, yes, right? So when we start to think about, okay, figuring it out, why is this bothering me? What is it that I want? So for instance, I was talking to one of our Real Love Network members, and she's frustrated with the apps. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the frustration? Oh, well, these guys aren't messaging. But what does that equate to in you? So she was a little confused. Like, what do you mean? What does that equate to? It means that these men are raggedy. I said, well, let's dig a little deeper, right? Can we go a little bit deeper, put deeper in the chat, right? So when we start to think about, okay, well, I paid, right, to upgrade my profile, right? To be able to swipe, to be able to see the people that like me. So I thought that paying would unlock this new type of man, but I'm having the same response. So actually I'm mad because my expectation of payment was not matched to the result. So that's really what's upsetting you. So what are your alternatives in that situation? One, get off that app, right? Two, reconfigure your perspective. So now we know that paying more doesn't always equal a better result, right? So you could go back to the free version, or you could go back to step one, get off the app and get on a new one, right? And that's step three, get on a new one. I don't want you to stop the apps if you're trying to meet someone. That's a whole nother masterclass, a whole nother conversation, but I just want you to really put this in your mind of, if I truly want love, I need to be able to communicate what I need, and I need to figure out what I want and why. Okay, so that's F. That's the first part of the facts formula. Y'all got it? Put a yes, put a yes, put a yes. Raise a hand. Okay, here we go. Number two in the facts formula. So we're spelling out facts. So it's F and then there's A. A is alignment. Repeat after me. Alignment. Alignment. So for instance, figure out what you want and why. So I do not like smokers. Smoking, like it just doesn't work for me. I'm partially asthmatic. I've had bronchitis. Like it's like a serious pet peeve, deal breaker, smoking, right? It just doesn't work for me, right? So figure out what you want and why. So what I want is a non-smoker, and why? I hate smoking. So then looking at alignment, if I start to date someone who is smoking and this is just what they do, I need to look at, are they aligned with who I am, the core values of what I represent? No. Okay, so does there really need to be a conversation about what I need? No, because this is not the person for me. So what do we say? Bye-bye. Go ahead and drop bye-bye. Bye-bye. We got to say bye-bye. Yes, we going bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye, right? So that's what we want to look at. We want to look at, is this person in alignment with me? So now if we got through step one, and then we got to step two, and it's like, oh no, Coach Cass, no, they're aligned. It's just, this is something that's bothering me. Okay, so then step three is we're going to communicate our key points. Communicate our key points. So what does that mean? And that's the C in facts. Communicate our key points means I want you to actually write down what are the key things that you want to cover in this conversation. Because as women, I'm talking about my ladies, we can often end up in the emotional side and not really get to the crux of what's bothering us, but just caught up in our feelings and end up crying and not really communicating what it is that we need. So I need you to write this sucker down and then communicate it. Say it with your chest, girl, but not in a, a masculine way, because my husband has said to me over and over again, right? There's power in a woman's softness, right? So being able to come from a place of love to say, babe, this has been bothering me. The way you said this bothers me. Could we not do that again? Or how can I help support you in not doing this again? Or this really hurts my feelings, right? So we need to be able to find the words, find the words in the chat, right? So we need to be able to find the words for what it is that we need. Find the words. So we communicate your key points. So you're writing these suckers down, write them down. And then I want you to find the words. Then I want you to actually say it. Say it. But everything is with the T in facts, and it's timing, right? So the other night, every 2 weeks, my husband and I, we meet with married couples, right? And we just do life to each other together, and we talk about love, and we talk about relationship, and we specifically talk about this area in community with others, because it's so important, because it shine a light on them, right? It shines a light of some things that we need to address. And it was 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. My husband's bedtime is 10:22. So I said, babe, I really want to talk about some things that came up during this session. And he was like, not now. Why? Because his eyes were bloodshot red and he was super duper tired. So it's all in the timing, time out, right? So we want to look at what's the best time to bring these things up. I don't want you to sit. I don't want you to fester on things. Maybe you even make an appointment. Maybe you make a date. Maybe you sit at your kitchen table. Maybe there's a place that you go to that you address things that are bothering you. And you set a time for it. I want you to make sure that you're not hangry. Drop hangry in the chat, right? So I want to make sure that you're not hangry. I want to make sure that you're not tired. And I want to make sure that you're in a good headspace. So do some deep breathing. Make sure you drink your favorite coffee. Do not consume alcohol, because you do not want to say things that you will regret. This is a space that you just want to be vulnerable. And I know for some of you, vulnerability is a cuss word. You're like, oh, snap, Coach Cass, I don't know if I can do this vulnerability thing. That ain't gonna work for me, girl. Listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to take the time out to be real with yourself. Facts. F, figure out what you want and why. I want you to make sure that you're in alignment with the person that you are dating before you even go down this road. If you're not in alignment, walk away. What? This ain't it, right? This ain't it. C, communicate your key points. Communicate your key points. And then T, it's all about the timing. Do this, right? It's all about the timing. And then S is simply repeat. Simply repeat. This is the framework, the facts formula. Put hashtag facts formula. So I've created this specifically for busy professional women that desire more when it comes to love, right? So facts. We want to look at the facts. Facts only, ma'am, right? The facts only. So simply repeat. So if the guy you're dating is not consistent. So let's say he started out strong. You were like, oh goodness, this is fabulous. He calls me every day. He asks questions. He follows up. And you see that it starts to dwindle. Call it out, right? Why do you want this? Because you want to be in a relationship that leads to a long-term commitment or a marriage. And in marriage is daily. It's not every other day. It's not every other week. It's not when I feel like, no, it's consistent, right? So in alignment, so he was consistent. So was there something that changed? Is he no longer interested? And if he's not, we say goodbye. If he is, then we ask him to communicate. It's important for you. So here's a simple way. Hey, Joe, Rashid, Tim, Jose, Muhammad, whoever you're dating, right? Hey, brother, I miss hearing your voice. So it's not, listen, honey, you're going to have to call me in order to get with me. I miss hearing your voice. I love hearing your voice every day. It puts a pep in my step, right? So there's two different ways to say things. And listen, not only am I a client, I'm the president. I don't always say things properly, right? So we just want to take that step back to look at, okay, well, what is it that we want? And how do we get it in a way that they will hear us? Because men will shut down if you come at him sideways out the side of your neck. Right? So we take a step back and look at, okay, well, I hate the fact that he doesn't call me every day. How do I communicate this so he can hear me? And if you hate like doing all of this, then maybe you should stay single, right? Because in any relationship, we are going to have to communicate our needs. We are going to have to figure out how to ask for what we want. And we're going to have to learn the person that we're with so that they can hear us. So my husband, he's a tone person. So if I say something crazy, he's not listening anymore, right? It just doesn't work. Like it shuts down, it shuts off, it doesn't work. Like, just forget it. Conversation done, right? So I need to rewind and say, okay, well, maybe I'll come back when I can say things properly because he's not hearing me. I know who I'm with. You also have to know who you with, right? What is it that sets them off and what gets them going? And you have to be open enough to learn them. So it's not just about you. I know sometimes it feels like the me show, but if it's just the me show, then it's just me. Mm-hmm. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Say yes, Coach Cass. Yes, Coach Cass. And if you're on Clubhouse, say yes, Coach Cass in the back channel, right? So I really, really want you to start to think about these things, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. When you're asking for what it is that you need, we want to go by just the facts. You got it? You get it? Good. All right. So make sure that you go ahead and find out your free love avatar. Go to wantedwoman.com, and find out what your love avatar is today. It's a 16-page report that will be spit out to you with what your main strength is when it comes to love, and then what's the area to grow. All right. That's my gift to you. And in the meantime, in between time, have a good time. Bye.